Hey guys, this is Exclusive Designs here, and I wanted to thank everyone for 100 subscribers. It's really nice to know that my channel is starting to get spread around, so I'm going to make a tutorial on how to do the Faded Clan intro, which I posted up not too long ago. So here's the preview again if you haven't already seen it. So as you can see, when the letters hit, they explode in a 3D motion rather than just the 2D planes, where the planes of the actual text or object explode. So what you want to do to make this is you want to go to nitro4d.com/bog/freebie/Thrausi, which instead of just typing that in, you could just go to the link I'll have in the description. But this is a plugin where it helps break up the pieces in a 3D motion, where it breaks up the entire text inside and outside rather than just the 2D plane explosion. He makes really good Cinema 4D plugins for R11.5, R12, and R13. So he also has video tutorials, so just check out his channel. Alright, so now for the intro, or the tutorial. So first off, what you want to do is you want to have your two objects or texts. So I'm just going to have one that says E with 100 death. No, it's 150 death. And then I'm going to align this to the right, and I'm going to copy and paste. And then I'm going to make that one text D, and then align that to the left. So as you can see, they're both back to back, the initials of my actual channel, Exclusive Designs. So what you want to do is you want to first off add your text. You can just add whatever font you'd like to it. I'm just going to do Batman Forever. And then what you want to do is you want to get your colors in. So I'm going to load my Donnell material, which I made in my first tutorial, and then I'm just going to change the color one of them to red, and then I'm going to copy and paste and make the other one blue. So I'm going to do a 235, and then the same for this specular. So now that you have your two colors, what you want to do is you want to drag them on to your text. Whichever color you would like on the outside to show up, you should make that one go on second. So I'm going to have red show up on this letter, and then blue show up on that letter. So as you can see right now, you get the two different colors. You can add the lighting scheme if you wish, but I'm not going to get too in detail with that. So now that you have your two texts, now what you have to do is just maybe spread them apart a little bit so they're not exactly combined. Select them both, go to Plugins, Thrausi, and Thrausi, and then label the pieces to 20, and then hit break now. So now we're just waiting for the pieces to break up, and now that that's finished with, if you render it, it should look perfectly normal, unless the settings of your Cinema 4D is not right, which it will have all the pieces split up and awkwardly looking. So what you want to do to fix that is you want to open up the fractures, and you want to scroll to the bottom and select all the Fong tags. So you have to select all of these Fong tags that are right here, and you want to either make the angle 0 degrees or just delete them. Deleting them would be much easier. So now it should look perfectly normal. So if you play it out, they just break and fall. That's all they do. They don't do anything except break and fall. So what you want to do is you want to add keyframes to the actual text. So at 0 frame, you want them both to be spread out far away from the camera, and then keyframe it for both of the letters. So once they're both spread out, keyframe them at frame 0, and you want to go all the way to whatever frame you'd like them to be actually keyframed at. So I'm going to say about 90, and once you're there, you want to have that actual text dragged forward. It is actually not working right now. So what I'm actually going to do is go to frame 0, and I'm going to drag one forward, keyframe it, and then drag the other forward and keyframe it. So they're actually combined like into each other. Then what you want to do is you want to keyframe that, and then drag that out to 90 for both of them. And then you want to drag the D out of the camera frame, and then keyframe it for frame 0, and then do the same for letter E, and then keyframe it. So now if you actually play out the effect, nothing happens. If you actually scroll back and you start it over, the pieces just fall. They don't do anything. So what you want to do is you want to select the tags and go to trigger and set it as on collision. So then if you play out the scene, they'll move forward, and then they'll hit, and then they'll explode. But then they'll just fall down. So what you could do is you could select the tags, go to collision, and add a higher bounce, so maybe 110, and then play it through to see how it looks. So if this is just right, maybe you want to add a larger bounce, so when they hit, the bounce of the pieces will be larger. So you can notice that was too high of a bounce because I did 1500 by accident, and they just split out so fast you didn't even see it. So you want to have it at a speed you can actually see them split apart, so like that. And maybe if that's too fast, you want to go to 130. You can just keep messing around with that effect till you get about the right amount of bounce. And then what you could do, which is what I did with the Faded Clan intro, is go all the way to where you want it to stop, so say right there, maybe at 94, and then you want to go to Mode, Document, and Dynamics, and you want to go to the time scale and control click on this empty area right here, so it's at 100%, and then you want to go one frame forward, and then make the time scale to say 5%, and control click. But what you could, so if you watch this through, it'll look normal all the way through, and then it'll hit, and it'll go slow motion right about here. Or what you could do is go all the way to that spot, go all the way back to 95, and right there you could set that back to 100% and control click, and then you can go all the way to about 120, and then go to 5 and control click. So if you watch it through again, it'll play through all the way through, and then right here it'll start to slow down gradually and then get to that point. So you can pretty much mess around with the document settings, but then if you'd like to get into the actual part where I did the text of the Faded Clan moving in, what you could do is just add another text object at about just make another text object just like a normal text object, and then insert that in. I inserted a tracer, and label it maybe presents, or just the actual channel name. And what you want to do is you want to do about the same font, everything about the same, except make the align middle so it's centered completely. And then what you want to do is you want to change the depth so it's or the height, so it's obviously a lot smaller because that's a really big text. And then what you want to have it do is you want to set it as, you want to click on the text, add your texture, and then hit C on the mode text, so you'll get separate letters. As you can see, they're all separate letters. You can move them around separately, mess around with that, or you could select on the overall text and then go to top view, go all the way back to frame 0 and drag it back so it's out of the camera screen and keyframe it. And then you want to go all the way back to 90 and keyframe again at the exact same spot. And then you want to move forward of when you want it to start, when you want the actual text to start moving forward. So say right about 90, or let's say 100. You want to drag that back to about 75. And you want to go to the top view and bring it in all the way to the forward and keyframe it. So now if you play the animation through, what you'll see is the two letters collide and they'll explode, and then presents will come in. So the actual speed of the explosion in the background is not set up right, so I'm just going to fix that all the way through. So then once you get that all set up, you can mess around with the keyframing to get it at the exact right timing that you wish to have. So now what you want to do is you want to go to click on the text, and then you want to go to simulation, dynamics, create rigid body, and then inherit tag, apply to the children, and then if you play it out, they'll just fall. So instead of that, what you want it to do is you want to go to dynamics and trigger it on collision. So as you can see, nothing is happening right now. So as it moves forward, then right when they hit the other text, it collides and explodes. So if you can see right about here, when the E and D hit and then the presents comes in, it collides and the letters explode, and then all the pieces start to spread out, which what you can do is edit that in Sony Vegas to slow it down. So that's pretty much the Thrausi, the explosion, the Faded Clan intro, and how to make it similar to it. So now that you got that, I'm going to render it out as a video and just show you what I did right here. So here you go. Okay, so now you got how to make the basic intro of Faded Clan. So yes, this one's obviously a little fast. There's no lighting, no background, no effects or anything, but you get the basic idea on how to do this extremely cool effect, and it's extremely useful. So what I prefer is, if you're going to do this, what I'd do for the intro is I'd open that back up and then go to the render settings, set it to the usual is 1280 by 720 all frames, and then go to multipass, right click, add image layers, add material layers and depth, and then go to anti-aliasing, set it to best, go to effect, ambient occlusion and 10%, and then go to effect and add global illumination. And you would think it would render really slow because that's kind of how global illumination works, but if you do that, it actually won't render as slow as you would expect. It renders very fast and an extremely clean effect. I did that with the Faded Clan intro, and I had about 250 frames, and it rendered out in about 4.5 hours, because my computer is actually really fast unless I'm recording through Camtasia or I'm like Skype calling or something. But so now you get the basic intro and how to create that. So thanks for watching this tutorial. don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other videos. So before I leave, I want to show you this thing that I'm going to do. So with me being extremely busy with school, I'm not having too much time to work on intros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this on my channel, which will save me a lot of time to making intros, and it'll make it a lot more specific. So what you have to do is fill out all this information and send this to my email, which is exclusive.designs23@yahoo.com. So that'll be on my channel in the side. So if you'd like an intro, just fill this out and send it to me. If you have already asked me for an intro at the moment, you're perfectly fine. You don't have to do this. But for those who want an intro coming up, you should do this. Otherwise, you will not be getting an intro. So thanks for watching this video. This has been Exclusive Designs. Peace.